Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. And in this video, we are going to continue with the Princess Diaries. So if you haven't seen the rest of my videos on the Princess Diaries, this is not going to make sense, so go back and look at everything else. This is so far my least favorite of her books. This is Princess on the Brink. And I always mix some of these up just because of the way the title is on these books. So this book literally takes place over like 3 days, from Tuesday to Friday. So, or 4 days. Yeah, that's probably one. A lot happens in a short amount of time. It feels very much like a bridge and a setup book to the next book, which is Princess Mia, where a lot of things happen, a lot of things change. Mia grows a lot. I can't remember how long that book is. I have read it, but I don't have a physical copy yet. Waiting on that. As well as Forever Princess, which is I'm actually literally waiting on. And that's the last book in the teen part of the series. And then Royal Wedding, which literally takes place 6 years later. So again, this book is my least favorite because it takes place only over 3 days. And a lot happens in these 3 days. Basically, Mia's life kind of explodes. Next book, Mia's life explodes a heck of a lot more. But this sets a whole lot of interesting things in motion. So school has started. She's a junior. She's gotten home. Things are kind of different. She's a little bit older. She's 16. She's still in love with Michael, but he wants to see her. So they go out to dinner. And this is where things get insane. So Michael has decided and been offered to spend like a full year in Japan working on this robotic arm. So he's literally going to be gone. She's not going to see him for almost like an entire year. And in reading he literally... so he tells her this, and she freaks. She is 16, and this is her boyfriend, and she's not going to see him. He's not going to be able to come back for a year. So this seems like this is a big deal to a 16-year-old girl. And she also finds out that why he was not dating this girl by the name of Judith back before they got together. They did sleep together. This also freaks her out. Again, she's 16. She's a virgin. She thought he was waiting for her because she's 16 and kind of oblivious and really naive. So this, along with I'm going away to Japan for a year and you're not going to be able to see me, really. And he slept with another girl. And so she goes bonkers and becomes depressed to an extent. Well, eventually. But throughout this book, again, this takes place 3 days. The depression is next book. Sorry, mixing these up. Again, this takes place over 3 days. So, yeah, she goes bonkers, obviously hides somewhere and writes in her diary. Goes back to school. Goes back home. She's upset. Everybody's saying, it's like, this isn't a big deal. You guys weren't dating. It's okay. He was kind of friends with benefits with this girl. Grandma says you really don't want a virgin. Not sure about that. I didn't marry one either. And everybody thinks it's a bigger deal than it is. And this accumulates in near the end of this day. I think it's Thursday. Or no, it is Friday. He's trying to talk to her. Michael's trying to talk to her. Lily's decided to run for student class president because nobody runs against her. She wins. Their relationship collapses because right before Michael leaves, Lily says something kind of cruel and dismisses Mia. And JP breaks up with her. So then Michael comes to talk to, before he leaves, because he's leaving. He literally tells her on Tuesday, and he's leaving on Friday, which in many ways makes no sense. This would have been in planning for a while, because this was his big senior project, so they may have talked about this beforehand. But again, JP kisses her in front of Michael. And because he's broken up with Lily, so JP kisses her literally shortly after he's broken up with Lily, because he doesn't really like Lily. This goes further in from what I've described in Forever Princess, where you figure some interesting things out with JP. And Michael leaves, and then Mia regrets it. She's not in love with JP. She likes him. He's a nice guy, but she's not in love with him. She didn't mean to kiss him. Again, she's a stupid 16-year-old girl whose boyfriend's going to be gone for a year, and she's freaking out. So she tries to go to the airport and see him, but of course his plane leaves before she can do it, and she messages him that she's sorry. And Lily ends their friendship, pretty much, because it's like she like the guy that she was seeing just broke up with her, and then her best friend supposedly kisses her. That is the context of this book. That's it. It's Mia going crazy because her boyfriend is leaving for Japan for a year. She's not going to see him. They have to do a long distance relationship thing. He slept with another girl before they got together when she was crushing on him. And this was her freshman year. And JP's kind of making the moves. That is very much it. Again, this takes place over 3 or 4 days. And then, basically, I think at the very end, JP shows up and offers to take her to see the Beauty and the Beast. And that's essentially what it is. It's like, one night, let's not talk about either Lily or Michael. And again, he's wealthy. His father's a producer. He can get it probably into any Broadway show he wants at the drop of the hat. And he happens to like Beauty and the Beast. And so does Mia. So that's the end of this book. It's 4 days. It's insane. It feels kind of rushed. And this is when I start feeling that Meg Cabot is maybe getting at least slightly bored with this series. So the next book, Princess Mia, takes place, I think, over the next another week or so. Takes place directly after this, and takes pretty much, it's only like 2 or 3 weeks maximum. It still pretty much stays in the beginning of her junior year in high school. And why I think why I think she's getting bored is Forever Princess jumps, like massively jumps, to the end of her senior year. So we literally go from September of her junior year to like May of her senior year. So she goes from 16 to practically 18 in one book. And then the royal wedding is literally not published for another 6 years. So that's why I'm getting the feeling, particularly with this book, that Meg Cabot is trying to wrap it up just a little bit. She's trying to put her pieces where they need to be for her to get to the end of this story. So, because technically Forever Princess was originally the end of the series. It wraps things up. The Royal Wedding, which I'm really interested, I have a physical copy of it right now from the library, but I haven't gotten to Forever Princess. I have it on hold for digital library because the physical copies in my library have been reordered for both Princess Mia and Forever Princess. So I'm waiting on those to do those videos. And then I'm waiting to actually get a chance to read Forever Princess before I read the Royal Wedding. Because the Royal Wedding sounds very, very interesting. A lot of interesting things happen. I'm not going to reveal them. But that's it for this book review. If you like what you see and you've seen the rest of my reviews, be sure to like and subscribe, as I say at the end of all of these. I have a lot of stuff already available. Educational stuff. Some travel stuff. I'll adding more secular educational stuff as my child gets older. By the time you view this, my daughter's going to be about 3.5. So those videos will be coming as she gets older and we get more into that. But I don't want to review something I'm not actually using. Along with all sorts of book reviews. I love doing book reviews. There's a reason I have a library degree. This is my way to do reference. Why not actually working in a library? So again, if you like what you see, like and subscribe. Check out what I got. Thank you.